Hey guys, how you going? Welcome to your reading. I'm unsure of what to do, whether to do like an additional messages or a channeling or something. I'm unsure, okay? So we're just going to have to wing it and see how we go, okay? We'll connect with Spirit first and see what goes on and may do some cards, but we're just going to see, all right? It's about, wow, Spirit just said open, honest, and being authentic to oneself, okay? So that might speak to you on your own personal journey, okay? Like I said, a ring-a-ding-ding, right? A ring-a-ding-ding. And I just saw a medal here, first place, they're saying, with the blue ribbon thing going on. Now, I apologize for the noise. Sorry, they're doing stuff next door, but that's okay. Yeah, all right. I'm getting this. All right. So this is really funny. All right. So we're really tapping into this sort of frequency. So as soon as I directed like my energy to the works that are going on or whatever, Spirit actually said, it's time for building. It's time for construction, right? But it's about ourselves and what we're trying to create, within life. And some of us don't know what the hell that is. All right. So we're kind of at this overlay of cycles kind of finishing and starting here, okay? So if you're feeling like you're in a lull, in kind of like a flat line, like I don't know what I'm doing, where am I going? It's meant to be for a reason, okay? And usually it's coming out, someone just said, of the winter, of the forest, stuff like that. So usually we're talking about there's a cycle ending and a cycle starting within your life, but there's an overlap there, okay? It's like if you could imagine like sacred geometry, two circles kind of overlapping there, okay? For someone here, geometric shapes and patterns are significant, okay? And they're actually showing me these patterns, what do you call it, like actually coming into your fields and maybe activating certain things. Depends on your own personal belief system and structure here. Not everybody's open to this, but it could be a bit of a deal. I'm really seeing some, wow, okay. I'm really seeing someone actually seeing these geometric patterns as they're falling asleep at night, okay? And they're saying it's an installation here for someone, but it's a reinstallation. So if that sort of sacred geometry interests you, have a good look at that and just see what it kind of represents or stands for. Archangel Metatron is actually coming through. I think he might govern stuff like that, and also Melchizedek, all right? So have a good look into that. I just did story of my life, all right? Story of my life. Okay, so let's look into this, okay? So there seems to be, the word conundrum is coming through, and that's okay. We don't know. They're showing me like I don't know what the hell to do. That's okay. You're exactly where you need to be, but someone needs to either put their foot down, take a step forward, or someone actually needs to take a step back, and they're saying a divine deliverance. Okay, so someone's getting good news, and someone else just said good things come to those who wait, okay? But I'm sick of waiting, someone just said, okay? So you really could be struggling with these guys, right? There's an overlapping here, and take that time out, okay? You've been blessed with the time out for a reason, okay? And, shout out to everyone in Vic, all right? So I know you guys are going through a lockdown at the moment. Take this time out and use it wisely, okay? Use it wisely. They're showing me things like, watching too much TV or shows or something like that in this time out. Someone's getting a talent off. It's from a grandmother and a grandfather figure, okay, who's passed on the other side. Try to use this wisely, okay? You could get a lot done. And they're saying personal self and even self-perfections and things like that, if that's kind of your belief system there. But just know that everything does happen for a reason. We've got your best interests at heart, apparently. Okay, so that's nice. Okay, so take that as a sign from God. Someone's going to get an epiphany. Someone just said a new day is dawning, but something's going to come to light, okay, and we're going to be seeing things with fresh eyes, all right? Now, it's up to you. They're also showing me someone with the blinders, like the blinkers on. Okay, so see if that works in your favor or not. In someone's circumstance, it may not be working in your favor, okay? So a broader approach, a broader perspective here. It's to do with career and possibly finances, either both of those things or one and the other, okay? They're saying financial investments, and oh wow, I just said putting your money down or putting your money where your mouth is, okay? But there's a temptation here, and don't feel forced and don't feel pressured into anything, all right? They're saying financial observance, and they're showing me like something going up and down. It could be your bank balance or investments. that sort of thing. Okay, there's something about timing here, and it's coming in for you. So the guidance here is like, don't be jumping the gun, don't be jumping the gun. Learn to trust yourself, your desires. Okay, that's interesting. So what you want as such, I'm taking that word desire as not a bad thing. I'm taking that as like personal to oneself and what you're trying to achieve. Okay, but they're saying something's destined to be here, and either wait it out, sit it out, it's coming to you. Okay, so it could be either one of those. But good news. Okay, there's good news here, and there's help along the way. And I just said diddly dee. Okay, so there's like good luck, possibly leprechauns, mate. You could be dealing with the best, all right? But just chillax. They're showing me a 4-leaf clover here, and it's getting installed or reinstalled in something. They're saying career and finances, right? Career and finances, but they're still showing me that, seeing things with fresh eyes type deal. But they're definitely referencing to a new day which is dawning. Okay, so try to trust the process if you can, but it's easier said than done, guys. Like, especially, like, someone just mentioned chomping at the bit. Okay, I can't wait, I just want to get it done, I just want to get into it. Why isn't it happening, you know what I mean? Or whatever else, why aren't things falling into place or whatever? But I'm seeing something here with the falling into place. I'm seeing things fall into place, but at the moment it's too complicated, like there's too many bits. Now I feel like this is kind of external. It could be like around you or to do with you regarding your own circumstances, but what Spirit's showing me is external circumstances. It's too complicated and too many bits and pieces, kind of here, there and everywhere. Okay, so bring it all back to self. Okay, know that there's not much you can do, and they just said crisis point activated. Okay, so when they say crisis point activated, I'll just remove that. Hold on. Yeah, okay, so that usually means that it's leading up to maybe an inwards crisis or some sort of crisis there. Take a back seat, let us take the reins, the wheel from here. Okay, so it's a divine leap of faith, I guess, and a trust fall here for someone, and definitely it's a wait it out. Okay, I've just realized, like with the stopping and that words are very important, even though like those words that were spoken about the crisis, that's actually scripting language. I don't actually want to kind of throw that out to everybody. Kind of said that energy out. So I just took a moment to retract that, and I retracted that energy, okay, because I only wish for you the very best, okay. Now, blessings proceed here for someone, okay, which is the ability to be able to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and just take that one step forward, mate, regardless of the hard times, the challenges, and things of that nature, okay? So it's your ability to be able to keep going and keep going, keep going strong. I just heard a toot toot, right? And then there's like a beep beep, like beep beep marina going on, all right? So try to have fun within this process if you can, but somebody here is taking steady strides, and looks can be deceiving, okay? So don't be hard on yourself. The word jelly beans is actually still coming through, and sweet treats, okay? Keep eyes on that. Something's afoot here, something's up. All right. Oh my goodness, I can't even go to that. All right, and take a different. I'm feeling really inquisitive and I want to investigate something. Like, what the hell's going on around here? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I got to figure it out. I got to know what's going on. All right. Yeah, you can take a chill pill if you want, but there's a gentleman here on the other side. He's got his arms like this, and he's actually having a bit of a giggle. He's like, okay, so Greg or Gregory may be important to you, okay, either living or past, okay, and that's either first, middle, or last name. I was just asking questions then to see if I could get some more information on that, but no. But that's okay. There's some sort of change of, I just heard directory. The word boot came through, and they're showing me, okay, they're saying a divine line of fire, which is an initiation, okay, which usually represents you stepping up to the plate in some way, and it's basically an initiation, okay. You may never have been down this road before, or you may feel like you're either jumping into it or kind of something's happened and you're at that point and you're just like, well, hell, I'm just going to have to go through it. Now, there's lessons to be learned within this, but it's about your own achievement, self-growth. Know that you can achieve things, guys, like you know what I mean. Something's destined to be here, so it's allowing, okay, the good things to come to you, but also they're saying that, with the crisis point, it could be reached, okay, but that's okay. Do what you can to be able to either put your mind at ease or achieve, but someone's definitely stepping up to the plate here, and they're like, I've got this, okay. They're saying free will installed. Okay, so your own personal peace is paramount, and free will is here. Okay, so you do have choices, you do have options. Okay, so know that you're in like control of the reins here. Like you've got a good firm understanding, and you're in control. You're in charge. Okay, regarding this, it is to do more with one's personal self than external circumstances. I feel like this, with external circumstances, there's not much that you can do as such. It's just kind of, that's what's happened and it's come in, and it's like, well, hell, but you've still got choices, you've still got options. For someone here, it's a playing the game, but it's a strategic approach. Like they showed me chessboard, and having the strategy kind of within that. So use that and intelligence, okay, wisdom, knowledge, and logic. They're saying there's some sort of ancient script or scripting here. They're showing me really ancient books, and it almost looks like a past life reference, but they're showing me at least, oh, it could be anything because I'm picking up on a lot, but between 400 and 500 years ago, and old books, okay, they're like leather bound kind of books here, like it's kind of what's going on. They're saying past life experience and tapping into that knowledge, wisdom, and frequencies. They're referencing to meditation, okay, that might be able to help you to tap into those sorts of things. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of these things, okay? Like you may not believe in past lives or whatever, but if you do, and if this is speaking to you, don't be afraid of those things, okay? It's okay. It's a part of you in your personal journey, and something's being possibly reactivated, reignited, and it's almost a retrieval of knowledge from over that period or time frame. They're saying research. They're showing me someone on Google as well. Don't believe everything you read. Okay, that could be a bit of a deal. You got to feel this with your heart. They're showing me, someone really getting their study on, taking that logical, approach, the scientific sort of things. But it's coming in, and you're reading these sorts of things, but it's about feeling it with your heart as well. Okay, so use your own discernment with this, and it's like, oh wow, they're showing me like the judge, like it's like judgment is with this. They're saying use your own discernment and using your heart to judge things as well. So that was deep, guys. So I don't know if you felt that, but yeah, that was really hardcore. So if you can feel those sorts of things, if you don't know how to do that, it's about, so say for example you're reading something and that information is coming into your head, just take a second and just go, well, how do I actually feel about this? And you can actually imagine this information, that's coming in or whatever, actually going into the heart, and you can weigh it up. You can actually visualize scales and things like that, and seeing if it's actually coming from a place of love, fear, hate, you know what I mean? Does it resonate with you? Does it not resonate with you? And everybody's different too. They're saying trial and error. So getting to know yourself, getting to know how it feels. They're saying experiences. For someone here, it's a scientific approach. So it's about receiving that information, trying these methods out, writing it down to how you feel, okay, and what's actually going on, and then leaving it and then taking it from there and seeing what actually occurs within the physical and within your immediate reality or environment. This is the same things for psychic sort of things as well. I've been doing this a lot. Like I've done it a lot in the past, okay, and it was very valuable. Like I did it for a matter of like almost 2 years where I was documenting these things and trying to figure out what was, what was kind of like truth and what was not. But I've started getting back into it now, especially, the last 24 hours where I'd experience, psychic phenomena. Like I'd be dealing with my own psychic senses, for example, like with my own personal feeling. And then I'd hear something from like a ghostie or whatever, and I'd compare both informations. For example, okay, I'll actually explain this because it's actually quite funny, right? Okay, so yesterday I was on the bus, right? And I was, chatting on Messenger and stuff. And I was trying to give a prediction of how many minutes it would take for me to get home. So I was already halfway home, and I really didn't know, okay? So I'm just like, oh, I wonder. Anyway, I dropped into myself and I used my own psychic senses, okay, to actually, what I did is that I opened an energetic timeline, okay, because this shit, like, it's possible, right? And I put myself and I felt into the timeline, right? The timeline felt like 10 minutes, right? So it felt like 10 minutes, okay, that I was, going to get home. And then I asked Spirit and I said, hey, how long is it actually going to take me to get home? And they said 12 minutes, okay, but I could tell that the information was coming from like a deceased person, okay? So that's interesting because deceased can actually give you future predictions as well. I don't know how that works. I'd love to know, but they can look into the future too, and I don't know why. But anyway, I suppose it's because they're on that level. But anyway, I timed it. I got my stopwatch out on my phone and put the stopwatch on so it was, ticking up or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good experiment. Anyway, got off at my stop, walked home, walked straight around the back, got to the back door, quickly flicked open my stopwatch and pressed stop. And it was at 9 minutes and 59 seconds. Okay, so it was 10 minutes, mate. It was 10 minutes, okay? It's like a minus 1 second, all right? So that was accurate, okay? Now, me feeling into those timelines, that was more accurate than actually asking external reference points for the information. So the ghostie said 12 minutes, okay? I felt 10 minutes on the timeline, okay? And that's what goes on, all right? Now, the moral of the story is, okay, so wait, the scientific evidence is that me using my own personal self was more accurate, okay, than listening to external advice, okay? But the moral of the story is that it really didn't matter anyway, whether it was 10 minutes or 12 minutes, because I made it home anyway. You know what I mean? And it really wasn't a big deal. Like, it didn't matter that information differed, but it was a very good learning experience to be able to actually get 2 different results, 2 different answers, and just taking that scientific approach and going, oh, well, we'll just see, you know what I mean? My life didn't depend on the fact whether it was 10 or 12 minutes, but we had a good result there. And then I realized after that, that I was able to use that actual ability of feeling into timelines to back up other spiritual information wherever it was coming from. It's almost like a safety guard. So if I receive external information, say in readings or for myself or whatever, I can actually use that ability to see if that's, reasonably accurate information, okay? So this is the sort of thing we're looking at. Now, you can do that, all right? But it's about getting to know that sort of energy and actually feeling it, okay? So it does take a bit of practice, guys, but someone just said you are well within your power to be able to achieve this. It's just the practice, practice makes perfect, and it's just doing the same thing over and over and over again and not letting it get the best of you, like the information which comes through, because sometimes information can come through and it can be bloody frightening, mate. Like, through this whole journey, this whole experience, information has come through that's been triggering, mate. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, what does this mean? Like, this is a bad thing? Something bad is going to happen, right? But it's not necessarily the case. We need to take those blinkers off and think outside of what we're instantly judging things as, okay? So what is perceived or first accepted as fear or worry or anxiety or whatever else might not actually be the case, okay? Because looks can be deceiving, guys. But as a general word of caution and advice here for coming from me, because on this journey I've been thrown into all sorts of stuff, a lot of fear, guys, especially to do with future prophecies, predictions, things like that, especially on the global front and the world scale here. If it's fear-based, it's worth reconsidering. Okay, so if it's triggering fear inside of yourself, if the information is triggering fear inside of yourself, if something external on the news or the internet is triggering fear inside of yourself, you got to ask questions, okay? And it's kind of just, why they're saying dig deeper into this, guys. So if I can help, encourage this inside of you. But if it's triggering fear, why is it triggering fear? Is it due to, past trauma, past woundings? Is it to do with childhood? Is it to do with being judged? Is it to do with fear of the future, not knowing what the future's going to bring? But we're looking after you, okay? Someone's saying, and heaven's watching over you as well. Guardian angels are installed. So, quit that if you can. And someone just said, quit beating around the bush. And this is a fear clearing exercise, all right? But things are never as they seem. They just said on the global front, and they're saying fear-based mentality. Now, me personally, I prefer not to live a life in fear, and anything that triggers fear, I try my best to let it go. And this comes down to, it's almost like a golden ticket or a golden opportunity to be able to release that imprisonment of the mind. It's the 8 of Swords to the crap, okay? So it's about feeling imprisoned within the mind and letting fear get the best of you. So try to take a regrounded approach, there is nothing in my immediate reality, that's producing, something of that nature. Now, it very well could be. It could be, reasonably in your immediate reality, but when I say immediate reality, I'm like, is there anything in this room that's, causing me harm? The answer is no, right? So life is good, you know what I mean? But it's about mental rigidity and release releasing that and not being a prisoner of the mind, okay? We're talking about mental ownership, mental freedom, and releasing and removing and healing what no longer serves here. You know what I mean? Being trapped and caught within the mind is, it's difficult, mate. It's difficult. I used to live in that 24/7, mate, especially like with conspiracy theories before I started on this journey. It was really hard. I was living in fear constantly, all right? But it's okay. Like, everything happens for a reason. It was very valuable to me because it made me realize that I didn't want to live a life in fear. Someone just said, a life lived in fear is a life half lived. Okay, and I find truth within that. So now I try to focus more to do with personal self-healing, taming the mind as well, not letting it get the best of me, and also love. I focus on love. If I choose to focus on fear or love, I choose love, hands down, every single time, because I can see the benefits in coming from, a better space, okay? But it can be complicated, and they're showing me like a little bit of a spider web here, okay? So it does have bits, pieces, or whatever, but put those appropriate steps in place to be able to achieve good results. And it's about stepping back and just having a moment, being less kind of reactive to a situation, going, wait a minute, what is this trying to teach me? Or what is this trying to bring up inside of me that no longer serves? Okay. And it's about removing those things one step at a time, guys. It can take time, but there's also you can actually experience really big epiphanies where it's almost life-changing. I would like to call it it's a semi-enlightenment, mate, when all of a sudden everything bloody makes sense and it rocks your world and it basically changes your life. I had that experience with this book, right? So this was ages ago. This was back in, 2012 or something. I bought this book. It's a little bit dusty. All right, you can't really see the title, but it's called The Complete Conversations with God, an Uncommon Dialogue by Neil Donald Walsh, okay? This book changed my life. This was the first step to spirituality and coming from a different perspective, because it completely... all of a sudden, I was only a couple of pages in, mate, and all of a sudden something made sense. I had that divine epiphany. It was a divine lightning bolt that came in, and all of a sudden it felt like almost a whole lifetime of, at least one level of this, of, shame and guilt and whatever to do with my religious upbringing disappeared, mate. And all of a sudden everything kind of made sense with that, and I actually felt loved. I felt loved, I actually felt loved by God, or whatever the hell you want to, call it. And that was an awakening, mate. That was an awakening, a life-changing event, okay, which actually really put me in a good space and on a good footing, all right? So, that was a book. It might not speak to everybody or whatever, but that was a life-changing moment, okay? So divine epiphanies can happen, which will change the course of your life forever, and it's destined to be, okay? So don't be fearing that you're going to miss out on these sorts of things. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it will be. And wow, someone just said, and everything that is shall be. Okay, so that's interesting. Now, we're up to 23 minutes. I'm unsure where to take this. So we're weighing things up, guys, all right? And they're still referencing to some sort of crisis here, crisis point. Maybe everything's led you up to this point, and it's about having a good firm look at these things, understanding and weighing things up. They're saying pros and cons, consequences, and otherwise. Okay, good news, all right, good news. Something coming in, they're saying divine light, and, Oh, it feels good. Someone just said a retempering. Okay, so know that there's stages, processes. Someone just said products as well. That might be able to help you on your journey. We'll just see how that goes. But there's a shake up here. Someone just said a shake and bake, mate. All right, now however the hell you're taking that, all right, is the deal, because that can be taken however you want to take that, right? All right, but, getting your chill on, and, there could be a bit of a shake up, a bit of a divine understanding. So trust your processes in your personal journey, because it is different and it's tailor-made. Somebody said it's tailor-made, okay, to every individual person. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's just everybody's experience the way that it is, all right? But there's things to learn here, you know what I mean, guys? So if you're open to it, it feels fun, it feels light. Have fun within this process. Try not to take things too seriously, but, it does happen, mate. But there's your opportunity. Jump on it, right? That's awesome. Try not to let things get the best of you, but They're referencing to things like anxiety, depression, feeling like you're in a hole and stuck, okay? Now, they're showing me someone digging a hole and actually, you know, that's what's going on. Like, and then all of a sudden you fell in the hole and you're like, oh crap, I'm in the hole. All right, now remove yourself from the hole, mate. And you might be the only one to do it, okay? But if you need external help, by all means, go see your doctor, your GP, a healthcare professional, something like that. They're saying help is there, help is on the way. So bloody look out for that. Like, you know, they're showing me someone with binoculars keeping an eye out for help or ways of assistance to be able to help you. They're also referencing to friends, family. So reach out, branch out. If you know it's in your best interest, do that. Oh my goodness, I'm getting weird calls and something just came up, but that's okay. Oh my goodness, guys, this is weird. And I just said, this is out of my jurisdiction. Okay, so I don't know what the hell, but it's a golden opportunity, okay? And someone's got a new lease on life, okay? So that feels great. There's an angelic presence and something approaching. They're actually showing me angels on horseback. They're showing me as a spiritual horse, like horses on the other side, you know what I mean? But angels coming in, the cavalry has arrived, mate, for the greater good of all. And they're referencing to the cosmic and planetary kind of deal there, all right? Now, I don't know how to feel about that, okay, because it's like, you know, they're saying take charge, okay, take charge, okay, so, oh yeah, okay, so they're showing me self and responsibility here, okay, so that could be a bit of a deal, all right, you're your own master, okay, so remember that, and try to take charge if you can, okay, some things are better left unsaid, some things are worth releasing, everybody's journey and experience is different, so you're going to have to use your own judgment, see how you feel. They're bringing me back to the heart chakra. Okay, so have a good look at these things, all right, and weigh these things up with your heart, okay? They're saying divine justice will be done, okay, but it feels good. Namaste just came through, and your personal inner peace is paramount regarding global events, your own personal situations, and they're saying that there's a tug of war, okay, so your own personal peace, mate, and it feels like there's a surrendering here for somebody, but for somebody else, it's really stepping up to the plate, saying no, no more, and someone just said, I'm worthy of more, okay, so, you know, but it's not about judging others or putting others down. It's about knowing your true worth. It's, someone just said it's self-explanatory, okay, but it's about you more than anything else if you're on this sort of journey, okay, but not everybody is, all right. Now, we're just going to see. They're saying peace be to earth, to all men. They're saying descendants, okay, descendants, but it's like way back. Like, I feel like, if anything, we're the descendants of, oh, okay, they just said the ancient ones, okay, and they're saying past life knowledge and influence, okay, if you're aware of these things, and I know a lot of people watching this stuff are actually into past lives, past life regression, stuff like that, work with that information. They're saying cosmic knowledge also, but I feel like you don't actually, okay, for someone here, you got to put the work in, so put the work in, go ahead and do that, all right, but it's also about knowing that there's like certain things that may come to you, okay, that's just kind of, it was meant to be, and it's directly connected to the past. Here, light's going to be shone upon a situation. They did reference to a marriage as well, but I don't know if that's real time or past life. It's just the word marriage, and marriage can mean anything. That could be a bit of a deal. Light's going to be shone upon a situation, okay, regarding this, and it's about your own personal self. All right, and keep things simple is what's actually coming through, because I'm feeling like they're actually saying conflagellants of crap, bits and pieces kind of scattered around everywhere. Try to keep it simple, elimination process, and there's a best be on your way and a best be on your journey. This is about you moving forward in life and cutting and releasing what no longer serves and moving forward into the fresh. Okay, it's being true and authentic to yourself, guys. Okay, so this is a learning process. They're saying please don't beat yourself up, okay, because you're worthy of more. You don't need to punish yourself for anything, okay, but have a look at that. They're referencing to childhood and feeling like either you're always getting in trouble or something like that. There could be some sort of connection or past life connection as well. So there's deep inner healing which is taking place, and they're saying on a global scale as well. They're showing me the words bereavement. Okay, so this could be to do with like grief and personal, really inside of yourself. Okay, guys, they're showing me a light globe, and it's turning on now, okay, which is interesting. It's coming through like inside of yourself, like the light is switching on, it's switching on. Yeah, wow, oh my goodness, they just showed me and I heard it. When you flick on like warehouse lights, like imagine a movie, right, and then they chuck on those lights and it's like boom, 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 and all the lights are just like on, right? It's kind of, that's what's going on here, and it feels great, and there's a knock at the door, right, and it's like, hello, anyone home? All right, so this is cool, right, and there's a visitor, a visiting, all right, it feels good, right, but just see how you go, okay, but that is really, like, to see something like that, I've never seen something like that before, but that was really cool, mate, but it starts within yourself, and it's like a chain reaction throughout humanity. So jump on board, you know what I mean? The time is now. Toot toot, bloody let's go, right? But in your own time, you know what I mean? There is divine timing, and it's about picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and just carrying on forward, okay, guys? So namaste is coming through. Okay, so namaste, and I love you guys dearly, okay? Please take it easy, and I hope this video serves you out. I'll get such a big heartburst, right? But I love you all heaps, okay? I'll see you soon. See you.